What's up, everybody? I am going to go over my betting card for this week at the 2024 Rocket Mortgage Tournament. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate it a lot. It would help out with just the algorithms, getting more views, getting my content a little bit more out there. I would really appreciate that if you just subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything except for a click of the button. So please do that if you have time. Just a little bit of an update where we're at with the challenge. Right now we are at $227.61 of profit, and that is with a 35% return on investment. Overall record 28, 31, and 1, but it's misleading. Obviously, it's a losing record, but we are taking higher odd bets on a lot of these weeks. So you're pretty much always going to have a losing record when you're betting golf if you're betting golf correctly, because you're looking for value. You're looking for odds that are deeper and trying to hit those. If you're good at golf betting, you can kind of find them, something I do pretty well. We have also had 3 winning weeks and 1 losing week. Through 4 weeks, we've hit 1 outright. Unfortunately, we did lose out on our Tom Kim outright last week. That was a heartbreaker. Lost in a playoff, 40-1 would have been a huge hit for us. Really jumping the total of the challenge, but unfortunately, we ended up with only $24.98. I didn't have a lot of bets last week. I was traveling to Massachusetts, and I didn't have access to the book I use. The book I use is only for the state of Florida. So we were pretty light last week, but we're going to go hard this week. I plan on putting a lot of stuff in the book. I already have, but we're going to go pretty heavy this week. So what I want to do is I'm going to be basically going over my betting card for this week and just kind of going over each bet, why I like it, and then we'll go from there. So I'll start with the outrights, okay? Some of my favorite outright bets, I have Taylor Pendrith. He's probably my favorite bet this week. Ranks out number 1 on my model. It's a great golf course for Taylor Pendrith. As you can see in the past here, he has had a T2 and a T14, gained a ton of strokes, ball striking. We know Taylor Pendrith is one of the best putters on tour. If he putts well this week and hits it like he has here in the past, he will be in contention again. That's why my model ranks him number 1 out of the entire field. His odds have dropped to 25-1. I did get him at 30-1. So what that tells you is that the rest of the betting community, is also on Taylor Pendrith because the books are dropping his odds. So we like Taylor Pendrith a lot this week. Another guy that I like a lot this week, it's another model play pretty much, is Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell, one of the best ball strikers on tour, one of the best drivers of the golf ball on tour. It's really just about the putter for Keith. Can Keith make putts? He walks around with a broken putter, not literally, but pretty much. I mean, he's terrible with the putter. But the weeks where he does putt well, he does well. And I think he could really take advantage of this golf course off the tee. He's always great with the approach play. We did see a pop putting week last week. Stroke and a half, or not last week, but when he played the RBC Canadian, did gain a stroke with the putter. Every couple weeks he will. Eventually, one of these weeks, he's going to have a pop putting week where he gains 3 or 4 strokes to the field with the putter, and he's going to win the golf tournament. So I am super high on Keith Mitchell. I think this is a great golf course that sets up for him. His driving accuracy is definitely pretty low, but it doesn't really matter at this golf course. It's not a golf course where you have to be super accurate. So I love Keith this week. Another one of my outright bets I have is Maverick McNealy. Maverick McNealy has been playing some really good golf recently. His tee to green numbers have been great. Driving the ball well. Approach numbers have been good. If you look at his tee to green play, I mean, he's gaining 5 or 6, 6.5, 6 strokes per round, or per tournament tee to green. Notoriously been a great putter. So I think, if we can get one of these pop putting weeks and a good off the tee game weeks, I mean, he's definitely going to be in contention. Let's take a look at his previous results at the Rocket Mortgage. We have a T8, a T21, and a missed cut. I do believe he was struggling a lot going into that missed cut, though. And let's see, 2022 Rocket Mortgage. He's playing pretty well. It's okay. He was struggling tee to green a little bit, though. It's definitely not the same Maverick McNealy that we're seeing right now. A lot of green on this page. Maverick's starting to kind of find something. So I do like Maverick a lot this week. I did get him at 30 to 1. A couple of long shots that I'll go over. Gary has turned into a flip-flop of what he used to be. We all know he had the brain surgery, and pretty big setback for him. But what I'm seeing is very weird in his profile. We've notoriously known Gary as one of the best ball strikers on tour. Great driver of the golf ball, one of the best approach players on tour over the years. I mean, you could just see all the green here. He's always gaining strokes of the approach play, but things have changed recently. It's really weird. He's always been a terrible putter, as you can see all the red, losing strokes putting every week. But he's starting to gain with the putter. It's very weird. I don't know. Maybe he switched putters. Maybe he's starting to do his process a little bit differently. But if we can somehow find these putting weeks combined with the old Gary ball striking weeks that were happening at the end of last year, you can see Gary up there on the leaderboard. I think he's a great play at 150 to 1 this week. It's a long shot. I don't have a lot of money on it. I believe I did a quarter of a unit. Yeah, I did a quarter unit on that play. A couple of other long shots that I like. Kelly Craft. Kelly hasn't played a lot of golf, but he's grading out really well in my model. He's the number 3 guy in my model. If you look at his approach play from 50 to 125, he's 6th. 125 to 50, he's 11th. 150 to 175, he's 1st. Great iron player, good putter. One of the best approach players on tour. 250 to 1 at this golf tournament where really anybody can win. There's no Scotty Scheffler, there's no Xander Schauffele. Nobody's in not a lot of the top guys are in this field. You can see somebody like Kelly Craft winning. I really can. If we look at Kelly's profile, there's nothing that's going to impress you too much. T11 in the tournaments he's played this year. He hasn't played a lot of golf. He's missed the cut in Puerto Rico. We got T11 at the Zurich, T13 at the CJ Cup Byron Nelson, missed the cut at Myrtle, and T42 at the RBC Canadian. Obviously nothing to write home about. That's why it is a long shot play. It is 250 to 1. I like Kelly this week. I like Kelly. I think he's a great player. I think we're going to see Kelly Craft start to get some good finishes towards the end of this year when you get a lot of the top guys not in the field. So I actually do have Kelly Craft 250 to 1. I only put a 1/10 of a unit on it. I also did bet him the top 20 at 7.5 to 1 for a quarter unit. Going back to what I just showed you in his 5 starts this year, he has 2 top 20s. In this field, I think he can top 20. So we like Kelly this week. Another long shot, Ryan McCormick. I don't want to go over to too much. It's 500 to 1. It's very unlikely to hit. I liked what I saw in the profile. He finished T4 at the Myrtle Beach. Gained strokes, approach, and putting. Missed the cut at the RBC. It's not likely to happen, but I do love Ryan McCormick I don't want to say love, that's bad word, but I like Ryan McCormick this week. I think he can play some good golf. I did also bet him top 20. So I do have top 20 at 10 to 1 for a quarter unit for Ryan McCormick. So we kind of doubled down a little bit there, but we'll see how that goes. Another guy I like the top 20 is Ben James at 6.5 to 1 for a quarter unit. Ben James, if you don't know who Ben James is, he is an incredible player, an amateur. He finished dead last at the U.S. Open, but he didn't make the cut, which is good. But he also won the qualifier to get in the U.S. Open, which had a lot of PGA Tour players in it. He can go very, very low. He's finished in his last couple college starts 2nd, 9th, 12th, 3rd, 6th, 11th, 12th, 3rd, 1st, 5th, 16th, 8th. He is a very, very high level amateur player. I am very bullish on Ben James. So I did bet him top 20, 6.5 to 1. Oh, messed up my thing. There we go. 6.5 to 1 for a quarter unit. So I like Ben James this week. Another couple bets I like this week. Tom Kim is playing incredible golf right now. Top Asian, 125 for a full unit. I mean, the only other guys that I really like that are, the top Asian. I mean, you have S.H. Kim and Michael Kim, maybe. They grade out decent in the model. Tom Kim is playing incredible golf right now. If you look at his profile, he's played 9 tournaments in a row, so that's a little worried, but he's 21. He can handle it. His ball striking is just incredible right now. Really, I think if he even top 20s, he's going to be the top Asian, so I really like that play. Taylor Pendrith, I kind of already went over why I like Taylor Pendrith. The only other Canadians in the field that I'd be worried about is maybe Svensson. Svensson can get hot sometimes, but his putting's been so bad. It's just another one of those scenarios where I think if Taylor Pendrith top 20s, he's going to be the top Canadian. So I do like that. A couple other bets. Group E betting is something specific for the Hard Rock, but Matt Wallace, I do like Matt Wallace this week. I think he's going to play well. 3 and 3/4, 1 bet for a quarter unit. I love Matt Wallace this week. He does grade out pretty well in the model that I made. Model, has him 11th. By the way, I guess I'll just kind of go over this a little bit. The key stats that I think are very important for this week. Your driving distance, you got to hit it far at this golf course. All the previous winners have been bombers, except for Nate Lashley. But other than that, all bombers. Approach play, you got to give yourself birdie chances. The winning score this week's going to be 25 under probably. If you're not hitting it close to the pin, you're not going to win this golf tournament. So going for the green, birdie or better. Scrambling inside of 30 yards is really just for your par 5 scoring. If you're 270 out and you hit it, go for the green, and you're 25 yards, 20 yards off the green, that's really what this stat is here for, to see the birdie conversion on when you do get those attempts. Par 5 scoring, obviously very important. Strokes gained putting. This one here is based on bent POA, so the putting surface that they're using this week. So your bent POA putters, good bent POA putters are going to be in this column right here. And then this is just overall strokes gained putting. So, like I said, it's a week where you have to make birdies. You're going to have to make a lot of putts. So I did put a lot of emphasis on the strokes gained putting this week. And then your approach number is 50 to 125, 125 to 150, and 150 to 175. It just goes back to what I was saying. You got to hit it close, but most of your shots are going to come from this range this week. If you look at the actual course statistics. And also, by the way, while this is loading, all these stats have different values and weights that I've put in to correlate with the model. I don't just put random stuff in there and then press a button. There is some calculations that go with it. This loads, and we can talk a little bit about how many approach shots you're going to have from those ranges. I believe it's about 11.5 to 12 shots per round will be inside of those ranges. So they're going to be very important this week, inside 150 yards pretty much. It's not loading, so that's okay. We're going to go ahead and skip it. Other bets that I like this week, Robert Mack over Ricky Fowler. This is not a Robert Mack bet. This is a Ricky Fowler has been very bad bet. If we go to Ricky's profile, it's almost like he's given up on golf. It's kind of weird. Ever since he won this tournament last year, you could see these numbers coming into the tournament, the Rocket Mortgage. I mean, he was just absolutely ball striking like crazy coming into this tournament. He ended up winning the tournament. But ever since he won that tournament, it was like he fell off a cliff. It was like he stopped caring about golf. You could see all the red, all the negative. He has been very, very bad. And everybody's like, oh, he played well last week. He got T20, yeah, but he gained 6 strokes putting. That's the best putting week that he's had. Still looking. Since 2019. I don't think that's going to happen again. So I'm not very high on Ricky Fowler this week. So I do like Robert Mack over. And then Robert Mack does kind of grade out well in the model as well. He's ranked 18th in my model. Just worried about the approach play a little bit, but it's not going to take. I don't think it's going to take much to beat Ricky this week. I could be wrong. Ricky could prove me wrong, but I like to take an analytical standpoint when it comes to that kind of stuff. I already kind of went over why I like Keith Mitchell and Matt Wallace, both matchup plays. I do have other bets that I put round 1, 3 balls. I'm not going to go over them here. I will have all those bets in the Discord. Any bet that I make personally will be put in my Discord. There will be a link below to have access to that Discord. Everything that's on this sheet I am personally betting. This is not something that I'm just putting in a spreadsheet. I do have tickets. I plan on showing tickets eventually. I mean, I could do it whenever, but I'd like to keep my book pretty tight. But I just use a spreadsheet so you guys can see it, and I also do it to keep track of everything. So these are my bets for the 2024 Rocket Mortgage. If you have any questions, put it in the comments. I'd love to communicate more with everybody. Please, if you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video, share it, do whatever you want. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to make this a little bit bigger. And like I said, this is for accountability purposes for me. This is, it'd be nice to have a big following, people that, trust me and want to know what I'm betting for the week. But really, this is for accountability for me. Puts more pressure on myself because I'm putting myself out there to be vulnerable with the amount of bets that I'm putting, and everybody can see it. So if I lose, I lose. But if I win, everybody gets to see it too. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for spending your time with me. Please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that. And if you have any questions, you can just message me as well. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you guys on Monday.